Hey everyone, we're going to do a little something different today. It's going to be a walleye bucktail jig. Real simple. Um a friend of mine wanted me to make these, and I was working with him for a little bit to get it just the way he wanted it. And it's basically for a technique called snap jigging. I'm not a big walleye guy. I go with him from time to time, but this ended up being a really good producer for him. So I'm going to make a few more for him, and I decided I'd put one on video since I don't do many walleye jigs. I think I have one on this channel. So we're going to get started. In the vise, we have a 3/8 ounce Do It Freestyle head with a 3/0 owner 5318 jig hook, and that was one of the reasons he asked me to make him one, is because the ones that he was finding had a smaller hook. They were usually 2/0, 1/0 size hooks, and he wanted something a little larger. And we decided with the owner, not because it's an owner hook, but you could see where that hook eye is. It's not sitting up really high up off the head. It's right against. So when he's snap jigging along these weed lines, he does encounter some sparse weeds from time to time, and this actually helps with the line tie being closer to the head. So we're going to get started, and since there's no call or anything on this uh, particular head, we're going to take a little bit of super glue brush on, just a tad, and put it on the shank there to help lock our thread in and get a good base started here. That's another reason for no lead collar, is this particular technique. It's pretty fast, and you're looking more for that minnow profile to cut through the water, uh, more so than action. The action comes basically when you're ripping that bait off the bottom. Again, I'm not real key on it. I'm not schooled too well on it, but this has worked so well that he wanted a few more. So we got our base put on there, and we're gonna just do some simple. This is pearl gray. Shad gray works too. Um, lighter colored gray. It's not that darker charcoal color gray. And of course, the color on this head, I call it OG Minnow, which is just a simple silver with a black back to it. So we're going to lay our bucktail in, and we want it about 1.5 inches, no more than 2 inches past the hook bend. That's about the right length that we came up with. So I'm going to trim that off. And we'll get this tied in. I'm going to make about 4 wraps here because, again, I have no collar to hold it. So I'm putting enough wraps in that I can get it equally distributed around the hook. That looks pretty good. We have a little bit at the top there, but we're going to put black along there. So I want just a little bit of gap there. That way, when I get it finished tied, you don't see it heavier on one side than the other. It's pretty equal all the way around. So you don't get that, it doesn't look awkward. Again, it doesn't mean nothing to the fish, but it does to me. And you can see I'm actually applying a good bit of pressure, but I'm putting a lot of wraps because it's going to be thin. So I want to make sure this is tied in really well and really secure. I got a lot of room to play with as far as build up so it isn't going to hurt anything. So now I have my gray bucktail tied in. The next step is to take our black bucktail. And again, this is a really easy jig to tie. Nothing nothing to it, but it's really effective. The last time I went with them, I was quite surprised that it worked so well. No live bait on it or anything. It's just, I think it's a total reaction bite. You know, like a big heavy jig crashing down for bass. He's doing this technique in like 22 to 26 feet of water. That's why he wanted the 3/8 ounce. So that's what we're going with. Take this black bucktail on top, make a couple wraps, and we'll make it that it's not completely around, but just like halfway down. And when I get it to where I like it, we're gonna cinch it. I'm really cranking on this, which is nice because this is one of the good things about 210 denier. It's heavy enough that you can crank down. There's other threads like GSP, which is stronger, but it doesn't grip the bucktail as well. I've tried pretty much everything. I'm a don't knock it till you try it guy, and this 210 works so well with everything. It's like a jack of all trades. So I tend to stick with it. It's one less thing that I have to buy, which is also good for the pocketbook. So that's all tied in. We're just about done. The last step is this black pearl or black crystal flash. And not a lot, 2 strands on one side. And I want to keep this towards the bottom, that it's actually hitting like on that pearl gray bucktail, so it really shows up. It's not overkill, but it's enough flash, and you want that just about even, maybe a little further, than the length of the bucktail. We're going to do 2 more. And we'll trim that off. We've made these with Flashaboo, gunmetal Flashaboo, and I even used some of the Polar Flash, and this is one of these instances where I like the Crystal Flash better, and it looked better in the water, and we had a lot of success with it, so we decided that's the flash we're going to stick with. So we're just about done. All we got to do is whip finish it and draw our head cement on. Went 8 that time. No particular reason. And you see I went down a little further. I made this collar a little bit longer, and that was just to get a little bit of flare. The further I go down, the better the flare I get. So I went down a little better. It's also going to help it secure, since there is no collar, nothing to hold that thread. And finally, we'll do our head cement here. And as you can see, I'm growing more and more fond of this Loon water-based head cement. It's just really easy to use, so quick drying, and it's holding up really well. So it's a win-win all the way around. So now we'll put it in a vise here, my little clamp, a hemostat, and we'll take it out and I'll show you what we have. And there you have it. Very simple, very easy, and really effective. I call this color OG Minnow because it's basically, the color is off of a Rapala original floater, silver and black. They do good trolling with that color in the lakes that he's fishing, so that's the color we copied, and it's been working. So there it is. Simple bucktail jig for walleye. Give it a shot. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching.